Of course, the fun starts Thursday night, round one of the NFL draft. Dolphins having their draft night party once again at Hard Rock Stadium. I plan to be there. The draft unfolds in Cleveland, Ohio, and we know the order of the picks. Mike, break it down for us.
Okay, well, no surprise here. Obviously, we've been talking about it for basically years. It's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars with the number one pick. It's a familiar spot for them, followed by the Jets at number 2. Remember, San Fran moved up to 3 with that trade with the Dolphins, followed by the Falcons, Bengals, the Dolphins at 6, and then again the Dolphins at 18. They get another pick there. But JB, let's go ahead and drum roll, please. And this one seems like obviously no surprise. I think we both think this guy, Trevor Lawrence, he's definitely going to go to the Jags. He's going to give Urban Meyer a little fuel to his fire with his first stint in the NFL. Jags fans already donating to this kid's charities and stuff. They know he's coming. He knows he's coming. He's been one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen to play college football. He's got the hair to go with it. I think Jacksonville's going to love this kid, Trevor Lawrence. Been NFL ready for a while. Yeah,
I think you're right. And look, obviously Lawrence is going to be the guy, and Urban Meyer essentially rebooting that NFL franchise there in Jacksonville. And why not do it with a guy who looks like a can't-miss franchise quarterback? He's got the size, he's got the arm, and certainly he has the attitude. He's been a winner in college. Frankly, I think he was a bit bored his last year in college, Mike, so I think he's ready for the challenge to step up. The question is, who goes after him? And we think there's going to be a run on quarterbacks right off the bat. And number 2, going to the Jets, is going to be this guy, I think, Zach Wilson, modern-day Jim McMahon from BYU. The Jets, of course, has traded Sam Darnold to Carolina. They need a franchise quarterback. I think this is the kid. You look at his stats, 33 touchdowns, just 3 picks, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And if you saw his pro day, you see he's got all the tools that you want, big-time arm, and the kid can move, Mike.
And surprise, surprise, we're not going to agree on this pick. And I think it's going to be Justin Fields. Look, so much during the college football season, we said, man, is Justin Fields the best quarterback in this crop of players? And I think he's the second best, and I think that's why we stopped trying to outsmart ourselves. I think the Jets actually surprise everyone. I think the whole Zach Wilson thing's been a little bit of a smokescreen. I think they take Justin Fields, who played so well at Ohio State. He's got a big arm, really tough kid, played really well against big competition. And you know what? It's New York City. Those are some bright lights, and I think he can handle it. So Justin Fields in New York, and number 3, Mac Jones. Look, he beat all the records that Joe Burrow, who went number 1 last year,
but look who he was throwing to.
Yeah, look, I know, but you still have to throw the ball. If Nick Saban believes in a guy, I believe in a guy. And you know what? All those former Alabama wide receivers this offseason kept picking him over Tua. And maybe it was just a ploy to raise his draft stock. Well, I think it worked. I think San Francisco likes a smart quarterback, and I think that's where he goes. He may seem like a statue back there, but I think the kid is really smart. He may be a project, but that's why they didn't let go of Jimmy Garoppolo just yet.
He doesn't seem like a statue. He is a statue back there, which is why I think the 49ers traded up, because they knew Justin Fields was going to be on the board. And look, they already have a statue kind of quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they need a guy who's more mobile and agile. Justin Fields, I think, is the guy they want. That's why I think they made this deal with the Dolphins. And everything you said about him is absolutely right, Mike. He's exciting. He is dynamic. He's smart. And I think he is a difference maker on the field. And all the chatter about people questioning whether or not he really is a pro-style quarterback, I think that's hogwash. I think he definitely is going to be the guy. All right, Mike, who you got at number 4?
Well, this is our first real surprise, I think. Look, the Falcons are supposed to pick here, but New England needs a quarterback. I think this is a trade spot. This could be either New England moving up, or I think maybe even Denver. But I think New England jumps in here and takes Zach Wilson. Right now, it is an arms race against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Everyone's trying to get their quarterback. I think this is a good fit for Zach Wilson. Not sure he's NFL ready. He had 1 good year in college, 1 really good year. I'll give him that. But I think he's a little bit of a project, so I think Bill Belichick takes him in, and they give him the treatment that they wanted to give Jimmy Garoppolo before he got traded out.
You know what, quite honestly, I think the Dolphins would be happy if this is how it worked out, but I don't think it will. I think everybody's going to stand pat, which is why I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to take Kyle Pitts at number 4. We all know what he brings. He's a mismatch. Obviously, he's 6'6". He's got the size. He can beat corners. Linebackers can't cover the guy. and so he looks like a star in the making. I still think the Atlanta Falcons believe in Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. They want to give him another target, so I see Kyle Pitts as the guy for them. Now, the question is, who comes fifth? The Cincinnati Bengals taking fifth overall, and they're going to go with a big guy who's going to have Joe Burrow's back, Penei Sewell. He is a monster, and if you looked at any of the tape, he just pancakes guys.
Yeah.
6'6", 330 pounds. That's why he was the Outland Trophy winner. No sacks allowed in 2019. I think he's going to be maybe another Bryant McKinney, who was a terrific O-lineman, certainly here with the University of Miami.
Yeah, look, outside of maybe Trevor Lawrence, who's obviously going to be their number one star, day one star in Jacksonville, I think Penei Sewell is probably the most NFL-ready guy. All right, but here's where I think the Bengals go. I think they scrap the offensive line. They go with Joe Burrow's former teammate, Jamar Chase. They give him a familiar target. He's probably the best wide receiver in this draft, 1A, 1B with him and Devontae Smith. But I think they give Joe Burrow another weapon. They drafted another wide receiver last year. I think they tack on one more.
Yeah.
Look, the kid's too good to pass up, and I think the Bengals will settle for passing on an offensive lineman for a kid like this.
Well, if you're right, that would break the Dolphins' heart, because in my heart, I think that's who the Dolphins want. I think the Dolphins want Jamar Chase at 6, and I believe they slid down a little bit because they believed he's still going to be there. And you're right, he has all the intangibles. He opted out this past season, but nobody has forgotten how good this guy is. 6 foot, 208 pounds, and you see how he can get open. He beats guys one-on-one, which is what you have to do as an elite receiver in the NFL. So I think the Dolphins have their eye on Jamar Chase, and I think that's what they will do. It would be interesting, Mike, if both Chase and Pitts are there at 6. What would the Dolphins do then? Boy, I don't know.
Who knows? But you know who's not 200 pounds but can still beat corners one-on-one? Devontae Smith. I just think, look, the byproduct of the way my draft board shook down, this is where the Dolphins are going to go, which I think is okay, especially, I think it's great, actually, because you look at number 3, the talk was, were the Dolphins going to take Devontae Smith there? Well, guess what? They traded back. They're still going to get him, and they're going to get draft picks on top of it. So I think the Dolphins, in the end, get the player they've been linked to the most, and they do so at 6.
He's 175 pounds dripping wet.
Hey, man. Can't teach speed, though. You can't teach speed.
It reminds me a lot of Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's a pretty good comparison,
I agree.
by the way.
All right, the Dolphins also have another pick in the first round, number 18 overall, and I think they're going to get a guy right from the U, Greg Rousseau, a defensive lineman. Obviously, the Dolphins need some outside pass rushing help, and this guy can certainly provide it. 15.5 sacks the year before. He opted out of 2020, but nobody's forgotten the kind of numbers that he put up. He was dominant. Boy, you can only imagine what the UM pass rush would have been like if Rousseau and Jalen Phillips had been there at the same time.
And Quincy Roche.
Oh, my goodness.
The three of them together would have been the scariest defensive line in college. Now, look, I'm sticking with the U for my 18th pick, but this is where I think opting out ended up hurting Greg Rousseau. I still think maybe he ends up going in the first round, but I think the Dolphins get a big pass rush, and I think they do so in Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips benefiting from a year of Rousseau being out. Kind of funny how that all shakes down, but hey, you know what? I think Miami fans will be happy either way. Rousseau's going to go in the first round. I think everything that's been said about him this week has been a big smokescreen, but Jalen Phillips, my pick at number 18.
All right, so let's go over what we think again. Our picks, how we see it's going to go 1 through 6. Mike, you got Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. You got a run on quarterbacks there.
Run on quarterbacks 1 through 4. A couple surprises in there with the Patriots moving up. Again, I think that could be the Patriots or the Broncos, but then the Dolphins end up with Devontae Smith and Jalen Phillips.
Okay, and I think there will be quarterbacks taken with the first 3 picks, and then we get into some different position players. Kyle Pitts, I think, will be the first non-quarterback taken. We both agree that the Dolphins are going to get a pass rusher at 18. We just don't agree on who it's going to be. And the question is, Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith. Quite honestly, you can't go wrong either way.
Flip a coin. Flip a coin. I think the Dolphins are in a win-win position right now.
Yeah, but let's hope they don't move down, as we have heard that they might again. Anyway, we're going to sort it all out on our Dolphins Draft 2021 special. That is Saturday at 7 p.m. May 1st, 1 hour. We're going to break it down. Yours truly, along with Mr. Mike Cugno and Kim Bocamper and John Conjemi, as we break down all the Dolphin draft picks. And we know that they have a few more holes to fill on this roster, and we'll see how the Dolphins put it all together. Going to be exciting.